I can't believe I'm saying this, but Overwatch 2 might be coming back. After a series of actions, I'll get to them soon, that left the Overwatch community dead and dried, this kind of started the villain arc of Overwatch. But after an eerie silence from the company, we're just now seeing what they've been doing in the shadows, and it may just turn the tides of war like never seen before in the gaming industry. Now, you guys already know I like to waste no time jumping into it, so let's go. A while back, I made a more in-depth video on this subject, but Overwatch 2 started its death process with the announcement that Echo would be the last hero in the game. This was big and signed the death sentence for the game because the new heroes and the new content is what kept the people playing this game playing the game. If it's the same game forever, at some point it will become old. So with no more new heroes coming to the game, it was only a matter of time until we just said goodbye to the Overwatch community. Well, after Activision acquired Blizzard, and then some weird things going on behind the scenes, and then even Jeff Kaplan leaving the Overwatch team, the fate and the future of Overwatch was in the hands of Aaron Keller, and people did not like him. His first introduction to the community was basically saying that, hey, I know you guys love to talk about how we have 6v6, yeah, we're taking that away. I know you guys love to talk about how we have loot boxes, yeah, we're taking that away. Aaron Keller came onto the scene by announcing that everything we loved about Overwatch and that made Overwatch different from all the other games around it was being taken away and replaced in the new sequel, which we didn't even ask for. Overwatch 2 was an unnecessary event that we never asked for. They could have easily just kept producing more content for the game and keeping it going, but they didn't. They chose something completely different, and, well, the results speak for themselves. Well, the new direction that Aaron Keller, the guy that didn't build this game and world the same way that Jeff Kaplan did, was taking this game, not only killed the game just by getting there, but just wasn't where we wanted to be and wasn't what we were wanting in the end. We didn't ask for an Overwatch sequel, they just did it with our game. And yes, I know they made the game, but the game is made for us, we're the ones buying it. Final result is that the Overwatch community and fan base of loyal players was alienated and looking for somewhere else to go. Now, I know I like to talk about this all the time, but again, Paladins failed so hard. Hi-Rez sucked so bad because this was a perfect opportunity for them to win the feud and the rivalry that they've had with Overwatch for years at that point. But of course, Hi-Rez didn't do the at least somewhat intelligent decision and act upon this. So, okay, whatever. As I say, Paladins is great, Hi-Rez is terrible. That's when a very certain Marvel Rivals stepped onto the scene. Marvel Rivals is special for many different reasons, but most importantly is that it is a new and fresh take on all the ideas that we've been seeing, playing, and hearing about and experiencing for the last several years. I like to say it started with Team Fortress 2, it was then adapted and brought to a more larger and broader, more modern audience with Overwatch, and then Overwatch 2. It was killed with Overwatch 2, and then that torch was passed on to Marvel Rivals, which held it very firmly. This was a fresh take on everything. It was 6v6, it was bright, it had tons of new updates, passionate developer team, and perfect execution concerning new updates and community and how they handled everything, and then not to mention at years worth of source material that they can bring from and then add. Genius. It's just genius. Marvel Rivals brought it right back to the core that we have wanted from the beginning. It was Marvel Rivals is what we wanted. That's it. Everyone considered this the official replacement of Overwatch 2, and it was widely said that Overwatch was dead. Now, no matter what the people say, let's look at the stats. And it kind of shows. Now, the ironic part of this situation is that Marvel Rivals didn't do anything that Overwatch didn't do before, right? This is all stuff that we've been looking for and that Overwatch used to give us, except Marvel Rivals did it better. It was cleaner, it was brighter, it was fresher, and it was a new take on all of it. Boom. Now, after they got angry and spoke out against the Marvel Rivals team for replacing them in a way, we enter a different kind of state. It's a very interesting part of the story, the Dark Night of the Soul, the villain arc, if you will. Just as the situation quieted down, Overwatch kind of left the front pages, Marvel Rivals took over, and even after this feud and rivalry was settling down and the debate was being put to rest, with Overwatch being conquered by Marvel Rivals, something very interesting happened. That is when Aaron Keller and the Overwatch team announced something pretty stinking big. Overwatch 2's 15th season, titled Honor and Glory, introduces changes to the game that we have been looking for years now. Sorry, what the heck happened? We're seeing even new content like perks, and I understand this isn't maybe, groundbreaking or the newest, bleeding edge additions to video games, but still, perk systems allow us to unlock different hero upgrade powers and stuff like that, like halfway through the game, halfway through the match or whatever. So it's actually really cool for changing up the game and changing up the battlefield, and so, you know, every game, every match can be something different. Perfectly done. They wanted something that would be a, quote, significant innovation to core gameplay. And I think they did it. Quote, perks. These hero-specific bonuses level up gameplay, allowing you to customize your strategies like never before. That's pretty cool. Here's another quote from Keller. A lot of things that we're announcing for Season 15 and 16, like perks and stadium, they're things that have been in development for Overwatch for quite some time. End quote. On a separate note, a lot of this stuff, as cool as it is, it's not bleeding edge. It is maybe for this genre of game, it is maybe for definitely Overwatch, but it's not something, it's not anything we haven't seen before with other video games. Nevertheless, it's still awesome that we're even hearing about this story. Now, though this one is a little specific, I also want to dive into the mythic skin for Zenyatta. It's basically a heirloom skin? No, it's mythic skin. I think it was it. Mythic skin from Apex Legends, where there are 4, here, I'll just give you a quote. The skin features 4 progression levels, thematic sound effects, and optional gilded aspects, allowing players to showcase their prowess with divine style. End quote. Now that sounds pretty stinking cool. Now this is something new for Overwatch, and that is good. So good. Now another big change that's coming to Overwatch in Season 15 is the hero exclusions, or, you know, banning different characters in ranked modes and stuff like that. This is huge. It's something that Marvel Rivals has been doing. It's something that other games around, you know, in the genre, around town, have been doing as well. It's an excellent way to increase the, you know, the diversity of each game, that each match is a different experience. I think it's fantastic. Now, on top of that, and even bigger, is the addition or the revival of 6v6 competitive format. Guys, it's coming back. It's coming back. It's for a limited time as far as we know now, but it's still, it's a breath of fresh air, and what we're seeing here is something very important. Don't remember this. I'm actually going to put this character on screen right here, so don't forget this. Remember this guy when you see him next, and I'll come back to this point, alright? So remember this, alright? That though it's for a limited time, there's this bigger picture here that's so important to this. There's even a new character coming, and her name is FREJA, a Danish bounty hunter wielding a high-skill, rapid-fire crossbow. She's joining the team in Season 16. Though she does look like a cross between Cassie from Paladins and Sova from Valorant, we're still super excited to see new characters from, you know, different places coming to this game. On top of that, and I'm going to make this part really quickly, we're seeing new cosmetics and collaborations. We're seeing, like, the whole Cowboy Bebop, One Punch Man, My Hero Academia. Those were big events because they were collaborations and crossovers that united different fan bases with this one, and we're seeing more of them, and it's more, you know, music oriented, which is really cool. And they're also really trying to focus on making competitive a better place, on top of, you know, the character banning selection thing, which we've seen and we talked about a second ago, and on top of 6v6 and stuff like that, we're seeing the Overwatch team put more of a focus into competitive play, which is very interesting. That's very good as well. And finally, but I 100% bet that there's more information we just have to get soon, the return of loot boxes. Guys, it's been a long time. I'm not gonna cry, but our little guys are coming back. In my video talking about why Overwatch 2 killed Overwatch, I mentioned the significance of what no loot boxes and how they handled that played in the game and the style. It perfectly set the system up to punish players for not buying their stupid battle passes and buying their stupid cosmetics in the game and all this stuff. I call them a super greedy company, and I have every right to. I mean, that's what their actions have showed us. Nevertheless, this is a very different kind of Blizzard we're seeing here, and I want to get to that in a second. Remember the character. Ooh, there they are. Get out of here, dude. Quote, Blizzard is bringing back loot boxes containing random cosmetics with a focus on transparency regarding content and drop rates. Now that's actually pretty cool. Additionally, the Season 15 patch notes detail the earning mechanism. Quote, for Season 15 only, players can earn up to an additional 10 loot boxes each week by completing up to 15 games with wins counting as double. Now that is pretty cool. End quote. I think that's pretty cool. Guys, our babies are coming back. Our little kids, they're back, guys. Our family is reunited. What am I even talking about? Okay. Now, bring back the character on screen. I'm going to bring it all. I'm going to tie everything back together again. This is it. As I said at the very beginning of the video, I cannot believe I'm saying this, but Overwatch is coming back. Not only is research... Whoa. Not only is interest in this game been rekindled and ignited back on fire with the new changes, and more importantly, the care that the Overwatch team is showing for the Overwatch 2 community. Now that's pretty big. As I talked about on my Risk of Rain video, if you watched that, I highlighted the significance of a company that values its community and the quality of that value, if that makes sense. It is a lost art in this modern gaming industry, but it's something so valuable to have someone out there creating games, creating content, whatever it is, kind of like my videos and channel. I mean, just for the fans, but then also caring enough for the fans and for the people consuming that content that they are willing to change the content for them, if that makes sense. That's pretty awesome. And what we're seeing from Aaron Keller and the rest of the Overwatch team is inspiring, to say the very least, because it's for a company that I lost hope for, I forget how long ago it was, but a while ago. It's good to see that they still do care about the people investing money, their time, their life, and their hard-earned money into this game, that they care about them, that they are willing to change the game and bring back what the players want. Because guys, in the end, kind of like I talked about in my Hogwarts Legacy video, when the game is great, people will play it no matter the controversy it's going through or has been through, or no matter the mess around it. People will play it because it's a great game. On top of that, when the game is made for players, those players will play the game because it's a game for them. And that is Marketing 101. I can't believe that's news in this modern gaming industry. Nevertheless, here we are, and I will not for a second take any credit away from Overwatch and their team and I guess Blizzard, the Overwatch team, for doing what they're doing now. This is rebirth. Well, what do you think? I'm sorry I didn't do a cover of a song or any karaoke this video. I wanted to get this one out there. I wanted to change the mood up a bit. I don't know, I'm not gonna lie. I loved my last video, and I thank you guys so much for the support, for helping me on it, for helping me create it, for the ideas, and for the support that you showed after it. I love you guys, and I love the community that we are building. Speaking of community, I want to hear from you guys. If you're new to the channel, hop on over to the community page, or I think it's called posts now, which is so stupid. I loved when it was community, because it made more sense. Nevertheless, we like to have a ton of fun over there, you know, crazy, stupid polls, and if you see Winnie the Pooh, avoid him at all costs, alright? He's not what he seems, so just avoid him. But guys, drop a comment, tell me what you're thinking, I don't know, tell me anything you think and want to tell me, because I love hearing from you guys, I love the community, I love the feedback, I love it all. I love you guys, I hope you have a great rest of the day, and remember, life is short, play great games. Nintendo Switch 2 coming around the corner, are we ready to say goodbye to the original Switch era? As a final farewell to the last 8 years that defined the gaming industry, this is the Nintendo Switch Memoriam. And because you guys already know I hate to give you just ordinary content here on this channel, I'll actually be singing and composing my own cover of Beneath the